this lab, we'll be setting up the ELK stack for log management and visualization using the linear regression model. And as a prerequisite, we'll be requiring Java for this lab, and we'll check if the Java version are using the terminal, if it is existing on the system. And since I have a Java version on my system, it's giving me the Java 19.0.1. And if you don't have one, you can download the Java from the online and add its path into the bash files. So into the your shell file wherever you're having your terminal environment set up, you can export the Java home with the path where your Java is residing into your system, and you can update it and you can run the shell file once in order to commit the path. And once you have the Java on your system, the next step is going to download the Elasticsearch. You can follow this link in order to download the Elasticsearch from here and choose the appropriate platform in order to download it. And once you have downloaded it, unzip the file, and to wherever the file has been downloaded into your directory, open the terminal. Now move into that particular directory and move into that Elasticsearch folder, which version you have downloaded latestly, and then we'll be moving into the bin folder. Once you are into the bin folder, you can use the command /elasticsearch to get the Elasticsearch up. So give it a few seconds of time. Yeah. Now you can go to this URL. Yeah. As soon as you have seen this JSON available onto the URL localhost 9200, the Elasticsearch is working. Now let's go with the Kibana. So we will follow the same steps for downloading the Kibana from the website Elasticsearch Go. So choose the appropriate platform that you want for your system, and then once you have downloaded the file, unzip it. And now again we'll be using a terminal for this again. So move into the directory where you have placed the file. So, and now we'll be going again into the bin folder, and we'll be using the command /Kibana. So we can see the log just saying that Kibana is starting. You can see Kibana is now available. Now let me go into this URL. Once I'm into this URL, I'll be able to see what I'm having here. So now we have done setting up with the Elasticsearch and also with the Kibana. The next step would be downloading the log stash, which is the pipeline which passes the data from the Elasticsearch and the Kibana to ingest, transform the data. So now we'll be using this URL to download the log stash for your and choose the appropriate platform where you want to install it. And once you have installed, we'll follow the same steps as unzipping the file and moving into that particular directory. And by running this command, you can just check whether the log stash is working properly or not. Okay, but now let's see how the logging is done using the linear regression model that we are using for this lab. So I have created a script where the model creates a log file called model.log, which gets the data from the iris data, and the test train split for the data is happening. And for the logistic regression of the model, I'm taking n samples. I'm actually logging the number of samples in the X train and also in the X test. And once the model is fitted, I'm logging the information model training completed. And once the prediction is done and the scores are available, so I'm capturing the model accuracy on the test data with this. And after once that is done, I'm capturing the F1 score and the confusion matrix, and from the confusion matrix I'm calculating the true positive, true negative, false positive and the false negative, from which I'm going to calculate the false positive rate and the false negative rate. And for that I'm actually logging all of those values into the logs. So once we run this file, a log file called model.log will be created with all the data that we have given over here. So let me run this file once. Yeah, so it's done. Now we can see here is the log file which contains all the metrics that we have mentioned into the code. So these are all the logs that I wanted to log into the Kibana. And now for this to be transferred into the Kibana from the Elasticsearch, we need the logstash. So for the logstash, I have created a configuration file. So the configuration file is, firstly it needs the log file where it has been placed, so basically the path of the log file. So the path of the log file will be wherever you're having it, so it will be model.log for in this case, and the start position is to be the top of the log file beginning, and database path is going to be devnil, and the code will be a JSON file. And now in order to have a particular fields for every single thing, we'll be creating a timestamp column, basically to get everything from the message that is being passed from the logs. And we'll be having a column called F1 score, so it's mentioned through grok, and also the false positive rate, and also one for the false negative rate. And then I'm renaming the names into these, the timestamp to the log timestamp and the log level to log level. So few renames are being happened, and the output will be onto the localhost 9200, and the index will be logstash training. So this is the pattern that I've been following to log into the Kibana. So now I'll be opening a terminal, and I'll be moving into the directory where I have downloaded the logstash. So logstash. So now let's see the one. So once you're in the logstash, we'll be using the command bin /logstash _f file, and then the path to the log file. So wherever the logstash file is present, we need to give the path for that particular file. So here is the file that I'm having, so I'll copy the path and I'm giving it over here. Yeah. So now, now under the Discover section in the analytics part, so as current date is Feb 2nd 2024, and right now the time is 9:12. So we have got the log messages for the recent logs that we have built into the local machine. We can see those being visualized into the Kibana.